military installations in Iran, war planners in Tehran would immediately pore over maps, plotting a calculated response to this unprecedented show of force. The stage would be set for a conflict where geography, technology, and audacity collide. Now comes to hunting the giants, the American carrier threat. Iran's strategy to neutralize U.S. naval power begins in the congested waters of the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz. Hundreds of small, high-speed attack boats armed with machine guns, rocket launchers, and anti-ship missiles would swarm American warships, forcing them to defend against multiple threats simultaneously. While U.S. destroyers and carriers boast sophisticated defense systems such as the Aegis Combat System and Phalanx, the sheer volume of an Iranian swarm attack could overwhelm even the most advanced warships, leaving them vulnerable. But Iran's strategy does not rely on swarming tactics alone. In the distance, ships seemingly engaged in normal commercial activity would be carrying a hidden threat. Iran has devised an unconventional yet highly effective way to strike U.S. aircraft carriers, missiles concealed within shipping containers. These containerized missile systems, including the Iranian Noor and Qatar cruise missiles, can be hidden aboard cargo vessels, blending seamlessly with normal maritime traffic. By deploying such disguised vessels in key shipping lanes, Iran could position concealed missile launchers near U.S. naval assets without raising suspicion. Once in range, these container-based missile systems could be remotely activated, launching precision strikes against aircraft carriers and destroyers. The Noor and Qatar missiles, with ranges of up to 300 kilometers, are designed to fly at low altitudes, evading radar detection and making them a formidable threat. The element of surprise would be devastating, as an unassuming cargo vessel could suddenly unleash a barrage of missiles before defensive systems had time to react. This tactic aligns with Iran's doctrine of asymmetric warfare, leveraging deception, surprise, and unconventional methods to challenge a technologically superior adversary. Another crucial component of Iran's naval strategy involves the use of its Ghadar-class midget submarines. These small but stealthy diesel-electric submarines, designed for operations in the shallow waters of the Persian Gulf, pose a significant threat to U.S. aircraft carriers. The Ghadar-class submarines, which are difficult to detect due to their small size and low acoustic signature, could position themselves in strategic locations near key naval choke points, such as the Strait of Hormuz. Equipped with heavyweight torpedoes and capable of deploying naval mines, these submarines could launch surprise attacks on U.S. aircraft carriers. By waiting in ambush near expected carrier movements, Ghadar-class submarines could fire a coordinated torpedo strike, targeting the hull and propulsion systems of U.S. carriers. A successful torpedo strike on an aircraft carrier could disable its flight deck operations, significantly reducing the U.S. Navy's ability to project air power in the region. Additionally, these submarines could lay underwater mines in critical sea lanes, forcing U.S. warships into predetermined ambush zones where Iranian missile and drone attacks could follow up. But Iran would also need to launch simultaneous attacks on American airbases, proxies, and forces stationed nearby. In Qatar's Al Udeid Air Base and Saudi Arabia's Prince Sultan Air Base, F-35s and refueling tankers stand ready. Yet these installations lie within striking range of Iran's growing missile arsenal. The Imad medium-range ballistic missile, with a range of 1,200 miles, which is around 2,000 kilometers, and the Sumar Cruise 1,500 model on Russian designs, could evade Patriot missile defenses using decoys and maneuvering warheads. These precision-guided weapons would aim to cripple American air power before it could respond effectively. Iran's strategic calculations extend beyond direct confrontation. Proxy forces such as Houthi rebels in Yemen and Iraqi militias could launch ballistic missiles or case-of drones at Saudi bases, forcing U.S. and allied forces to spread their resources thin. These indirect attacks would serve as diversions, complicating America's ability to mount a coordinated defense. Let's explore how Iran might target Diego Garcia, the U.S. fortress in the Indian Ocean. As tensions rise on the high seas, Iran could turn its attention to Diego Garcia, a remote but vital U.S. military stronghold in the Indian Ocean. This heavily fortified island serves as a key staging ground for America's strategic bombers, including the nuclear-capable B-2 Spirit stealth aircraft, designed to strike deep into enemy territory undetected. So how might Iran counter this threat? The answer lies in covert maritime tactics. Take the Shahid Mahdavi, a repurposed container ship spotted prowling the Indian Ocean in February. On the surface, it appears ordinary, but its cargo holds conceal a deadly secret, ballistic missiles hidden within shipping containers. A surprise barrage of sigil missiles with a striking range of 2,500 kilometers launched from such a vessel could bring Diego Garcia within Iran's crosshairs. But Iran's strategy isn't about surgical strikes. Instead, imagine a swarm of modified Fate 110 short-range ballistic missiles, adapted for sea launches, raining cluster munitions across the airbase. According to Hudson Institute assessments, just 5 of these warheads could disable every exposed aircraft on the tarmac. The real blow. Such an attack could cripple the airfield, destroy weapon stockpiles, and leave the island's critical infrastructure inoperable, transforming this distant fortress into a smoldering relic of the storm.